Hello YouTube, it's Rom from Ramen Noodles TCG, and today I have a Bystial Fiendsmith deck profile for you. So I was feeling a little bit down recently, and I wanted to take a bit of a break from Memento, just like a small break, just to give myself some rest from having to play that deck perfectly. And I wanted to try out a control deck for a bit, and I decided to give Bystial Fiendsmith a try. And I've been doing okay with it. I won a locals, and I've topped different locals. None of them were super competitive, but I am getting a pretty good feel for the deck, and I'm very, very happy with this list that I am about to show you. So, starting off with the Fiendsmith cards, we are playing 3 copies of Engraver, 3 Lacrima, 2 Tract, 1 Sanct, 1 Paradise, and the Lurie. So, obviously we're playing 3 Engraver because it's a Fiendsmith deck. Lacrima we're playing 3 of. This deck doesn't really have a normal summon, so Lacrima is the main normal summon. Obviously we're playing Tract and Lurie, because you Tract, search Lurie. Sometimes the effect to fusion summon comes up. Not that often, but it does come up. And you guys may think I'm trolling with the Sanct. What, Rom, did you sell your 3rd Tract? Oh yeah, he must have sold his 3rd Tract. No, it's right here, guys. So, genuinely, I think Sanct is pretty cool. So, the reason I'm playing Sanct is that Sanct gives you a little bit of extra ceiling. It's a worse starter than Tract because the token doesn't... When you link off the token, it's not a Light Fiend engraved, but... it's an extra extender that you have in case somebody ashes your Tract. Because if your Tract gets ashed and you don't have Lacrima, you actually just kind of have to pass, which is kind of sad. And just losing to a single ash feels so bad. But I did want to play the Sanct here as another target to search off of the Engraver for extension. In Kashtira Fiendsmith, you can't play Sanct. And I was really eager to try this card, and it has been quite solid in my testing. Obviously, we're playing the 1 Paradise. This is what you dump off of Lacrima on your opponent's turn to use the graveyard effects. I haven't resolved the on-field effects too often, but it is very strong when you resolve it. You probably should side the Paradise out, going second in most matchups, except for like the really grindy ones. Moving on to the Bystials, we are playing 3 copies of the Bystial Lubellion, the limited Druisworm, and limited Magnamut. We are playing 3 Saronir, 3 Baldrake, and the 1 copy of Branded Regained. So we are basically maxing out on all of the Bystials. We don't have space for synchros, so we're not playing the Bystial Aluber. But Bystials are just really strong cards. They're pretty solid in this format, especially with the rise of Mitsurugi. Being able to banish the freaking snakes from the graveyard is quite strong. Being able to hit Murakumo, for example, is very, very good. Branded Regain is just an advantage machine. You just kind of generate advantage over the course of many turns by looping Magnamut and Druisworm, among other Bystial effects. Baldrake is surprisingly good. So Bystials aren't great in every matchup. Like, against Malice, you'll find that the Bystials are not super impactful most of the time. But there are places you can Bystial a Malice player. If the Malice player starts with Underground, they will have to use their names and then go into Splash Mage. You can Bystial the Splash Mage target. When a Malice player goes for Wizard, you can Bystial the Wizard target. That's pretty good. And you can drop Bystials on, like, names in the end phase that they've already used. That gets kind of annoying, especially if they're one of those freaking weirdos who doesn't play GWC. You can really punish a Malice player for that, because trying to March Hare banish something and you just don't have it to banish, because I banished it with a Bystial. Yeah. So you can use Bystials against Malice, but usually, like, take out a Baldrake and a Saronir, and you take out the Lubellion going second. A lot of times you take out the Regained going second. But yeah, Bystials are just great. Moving on to the non-Bystial hand traps, I am playing 14 in the main deck. I'm playing 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Nibiru, 3 Fualos, and 2 Ghost Bell. So I've been enjoying this hand trap lineup a fair bit. So starting off with Ash, we are playing Fiendsmith, so we summon from the extra deck a lot, in the graveyard a lot, so we are weak to Fualos and Meowls, so Ash is pretty good at stopping the mulch armies. That's her main job now in most decks. Like, she used to be an auto-include just because she's good, but now she's an auto-include because she stops the mulch armies. It's a bit of a weird change in her role here. But she does her job well, and she's just very flexible. Against Malice, you can struggle to find a good spot to Ash. Generally, I think if a Malice player starts with normal summon Chessy Cat, that seems to be a decent place to Ash. You can also Ash Wicked if the Malice player does not chain block it. Ashing Red Ransom isn't bad either, especially now that they have multiple targets they can search. So yeah, Ash is a good girl. Nibiru is super duper high impact, and it really gives this deck a lot of bite. You don't care about wiping your own board, so you always keep this in going first. Nib applies a lot of pressure to your opponent. Obviously, your opponent doesn't have to play into Nib, but in order to clear over your field, your opponent should have to play into Nib. And obviously going second, it's not great in every matchup. Like, Ryziel plays around Nib pretty well. You take it out there. But Malice plays into Nib. A lot of the Fiendsmith decks, they all play into Nib. So yeah, Nib is just a really nice power play we have. Speaking of power plays, we have Fualos. The Fualoses, I think, are really good in the main deck for this. I've been a big advocate of side deck Fualos for a long time, but I think in this deck it's really good to main them, especially because genuinely passing your turn on Fualos is not the worst idea sometimes, because you have Bystials. You can draw into, like, Bystials, you can draw into Nib. These guys will keep you alive, so you don't have to worry about being OTK'd while you're sitting here trying to draw off a Fua. So yeah, Fua is very impactful. Veiler is less impactful, but she's very much a glue hand trap that just kind of holds the lineup together. We have a critical mass of them because we're playing 14 and then a bunch of Bystials. We have a ton of hand traps, and Veiler is just like quality negation that doesn't do enough on her own, but combined with other hand traps, she works really well. So if you notice, we're not playing Imperm in this deck. That is by design. I think Imperm conflicts with the Bystials a lot. If you guys saw my Malice deck profile, I rant about that there. Veiler is a lot more flexible when you're using them alongside Bystials. Veiler's a bad top deck, but I mean, you're spamming hand traps anyway. This is just kind of the way this deck works. So we also want hand traps that we can normal summon to do Fiendsmith combos alongside our Bystials. So Bell, I was playing 3 Bell originally. Bell is really good in the Malice matchup. And it's also good against Mitsurugi, but it's not as amazing as against Mitsurugi as you might expect, because if you Bell Prayers, it says you can activate 1 Mitsurugi Prayers per turn. So if you Bell the Prayers, they just activate a second one. Then you just feel like a fool. Obviously, being able to Bell something like a Murakumo or Futsu is quite strong. But you can just Bystial the Murakumo or Futsu. So there's a bit of overlap there, and that's why I'm only playing the 2 Bell. Nevertheless, she's quite a good card. To round out the 40-card main deck, I have 3 utility spells here. I'm playing Triple Tactics Talent, Called by the Grave, and the one copy of Small World. Now, Talent and Called by are just, generic, limited, broken staples. Hand trap insurance, essentially, is what I like to call them. Small World is a nice piece of consistency boosting that works insanely well in this deck. All of your hand traps bridge super well via Effect Veiler and Nibiru, because you can go Fua into Nib. So then you can get your Fiendsmith pieces or your Lubellium that way, which is just incredible. You can bridge via Engraver into Magnamut, which is very, very good. Small World is just very strong. Essentially, it's just one more starter. I didn't want to play more than one because I feel like I'd brick on it, and we are playing into Droll by playing Small World, but it's like a nice piece of toolboxing that I really enjoy in this deck. Moving on to the extra deck, we'll start off with the Fiendsmith links. I am playing 2 copies of Requiem, the 1 Sequence, the 1 Agnum Day, and Honorary Fiendsmith Link Moon. So we are playing 2 Requiem. I think this is necessary. I started out by playing Super Poly in the side deck, and I was only playing 1 Requiem, and I missed it a little bit. So the thing about Requiem is that it's the first link in the Fiendsmith combo. So this guy does have a target on his head as far as like getting hit with graveyard removal from the opponent. So you do want the second one in that case. Also, when you're using your own Bystials to extend, by the time you get to these other links, well, other than Moon, by the time you get to these 2, you should have Branded Regained up, so you can just recycle them back. But you want to be able to banish your Requiem with a Bystial and then just have a second one to use. Finding good spots to Bystial can be one of the main things I was worried about when figuring out this extra deck, as you'll see later. Moving on to the fusions here, I am playing 2 copies of Necroquip Princess and 2 copies of Desiree. So the Desirees, obviously, it's a Fiendsmith deck, so we're playing Desirees. The second one is for Paradise. Essentially, while you have a Desiree up, you can send the second one for Paradise to get the send. Double Necroquip Princess is really important in this deck. Not only is Necroquip Princess just really good because of the draw power she provides, but she's also a really good piece of fodder to banish with a Bystial. I thought long and hard about what the 15th extra deck card should be, and then I added the Necroquip Princess as the final card. You'll go through her basically all the time. You're supposed to go through her even when you don't need to, turn 1, so that you don't have to banish a Light Fiend with your Bystials. You can banish the Necroquip Princess instead. Then you have a second one for a follow-up turn, in case you want to actually use it for Caesar or another rank 6, something like that. So yeah, I think you do need to play 2 of this card. Moving on to some Xyz monsters. Obviously, we are playing Mr. Caesarian Section himself, and Ptolemy M7 for the rank 6s. Caesar is broken in any Fiendsmith deck. Yeah, I mean, this guy is just crazy. You never need a second one. Yeah, don't play 2 of this. You don't need it. 1 should be able to win you the game against other Fiendsmith decks, or Malice, which is what you're mainly using this for. Ptolemy M7 is a really big sleeper pick in this deck. Shout out Virtual World. Virtual World staple right here. So M7 is able to recycle your hand traps, but not only that, it's also able to recycle your engine pieces. Being able to recycle Bystials with this is quite good in matchups where Bystials are strong, especially because it's a rank 6 that's generic, so you can use the Bystials to make it, whereas you can't make this with Bystials. So in Fiendsmith mirrors, you can use Bystials on your opponent's Fiendsmith cards, then overlay for M7, and then add back the Bystials to keep spamming your opponent with Bystials. Very, very strong. It's also important for the 1-card Lacrima combo, where essentially if your opponent doesn't have a hand trap, you can do the Lacrima setup where you do like Lacrima does without M7, she does get to Desiree, but she doesn't have the recycling because you have to fuse her away. You have to shuffle her back into the deck. So if you use M7 to add back Engraver to get tracked, then you have an extra Light Fiend to shuffle back for Desiree, meaning you can leave the Lacrima engrave so that if your opponent outs the Desiree, that doesn't force it out because you can just Lacrima revive back Agnum Day and then Agnum Day bring back Desiree. So you can just hold it, which is really, really good. For some other utility Xyz, I am playing the 1 copy of Typhon and the 1 copy of Zeus. Now, Typhon is just incredible in this deck because we're playing so many Bystials. You can just kind of pass on Typhon and then just like try to hold off your opponent on their turn. It's very, very good. Zeus was like a huge sleeper hit in this deck. I'm very, very happy I played this. It's not just to use my new Starlight Rare, I swear, guys. So basically what you usually use this for is when you're making the M7 plays, you can attack with the M7 and then make Zeus on top to clear the board. And then like you use the cards you added back from M7 as follow-up. It's really, really good. For the final 2 slots of the extra deck, I'm playing Chaos Angel and SP. Chaos Angel is great in any Fiendsmith deck, but especially something like this, where we have a lot of dark monsters. So you can make the Light Dark Chaos Angel very, very easily. SP provides great utility just in general, but also she pairs really nicely with Branded Regained because you can banish your opponent's monsters and then shuffle them back into the deck. That is just extremely evil. They just don't come back. Get shuffled. Yeah, very, very strong card. Moving on to the side deck, I do have some more hand traps. I am playing 3 Droll, 3 Meowls, 3 Lancia, and the 1 Phantasme. Droll is in here just because Droll is crazy this format. It's really good against all the Mitsurugi decks. It's good against Ryziel. It's solid against like some of the Fiendsmith piles. It's pretty good against us, to be honest. Yeah, Droll is just really, really good this format, so we gotta side it. I don't like maining Droll and the Molcharmies, so I'm opting to main the Fuas and side the Drolls. I could be convinced to main both, just because this is the kind of deck where like you have so many hand traps and you half the time you want to freaking normal a hand trap because you just don't have a normal summon. So maybe you could convince me to main the Drolls, but like I like siding them. Lancia and Meowls are just malice hate. I've been seeing the Fiendsmith Live Twin deck a lot at locals. Meowls is really good against that as well. It's good against a lot of Fiendsmith variants. The 1 Phantasme, this was a suggestion from Alternate Universe's Matt Mano. It's really good with Baldrake, because, like, you know, you can Phantasme into Baldrake, and then you have the Baldrake. But it's searchable off of Magnemite. That's never come up for me, but it is searchable off of Magnemite. It's also just, like, another piece of Malice hate. It's good against Live Twins and, like, Fiendsmith and stuff. It's pretty good. I like this card. We were playing some backer removal, playing 2 copies of Lightning Storm and 1 Duster. This is mainly for Ryziel. The hardest part about beating Ryziel was actually the cross, so we want to clear the back row and get rid of that cross so we can start working on that detonator. The Fiendsmith cards are very efficient at forcing out detonator pops, and being able to Bystial the detonator so it can't come back after Eclipse Twins triggers is very, very good. And lastly, I wanted something for going first because I do need something for going first, because I am playing Molcharmies and I want something to take out the Fuas for. So for the final 2 slots in the side deck, I am playing 2 copies of Solemn Judgment. My main man, Solemn Johnson, does his job pretty well. Just being able to negate summons, negate spells and traps is very important, because a lot of times you're just sitting on a Caesar, And Caesar should carry you to victory if your opponent doesn't have an out for it. So now you have some defense against their outs to Caesar, which is very, very good. Yeah, just being able to negate like Mitsurugi Ritual, Xyz summons, Synchro summons, just like all the summons. Pretty good. So yeah, that is the deck. I will probably go back to Memento fairly soon. Be working on the Crystron series as well. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a like, and if you're looking forward to my upcoming content, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.